Welcome to the front line of wrestling storytelling. This is the Sports JEDI Network channel, where the force of fandom meets the future of wrestling media. Live an unfiltered and exclusive one-on-one with the man behind the rising empire, TNA Wrestling and Anthem Sports, Carlos Silva.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome here to the Sports JEDI Network Heal the Ring podcast. We have a special guest that's going to join us here. Let me first say hello to my partner in crime, Chris. What's going on, Chris?
What is up, everybody? What is up? Yes, guys, this is a dream come true. This is a quite honor that we have coming up here. So I don't want to waste too much time. Let's get it going. Thank you guys for joining us today. It's going to be a great conversation with a very, very great man.
Absolutely. We're going to bring in Anthem Sports TNA President, the one and only MR.Carlos Silva, joining us. What's going on, Mr. Silva? Welcome to the channel. Bienvenido.
Hey, guys. How's it going? ¿Qué pasa?
Todo bien, very wonderful. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it, especially in this 1 week away. Yes, I am believe 1 week away for Slammiversary in the UBS Arena. We are excited. We're going to be there in attendance, so we're going to have the honor to participate in the fan experience. I wanted to talk about Slammiversary, getting together, that opportunity with the UBS Arena. Getting that, this is a big venue, New York City for the first time. The Ledeckis open up the red carpet in that arena. How proud are you at this moment? I mean, we're proud for you, so I can imagine you.
It's really great, and I'm so glad you mentioned John Ledecky. John has been so helpful as we've gone on this journey over the last 6 months together to get where we are. These things don't come together in a second, but I think we've been building from January all the way to this moment. We were at a couple of Islanders games earlier this year doing some promotion with Joe Hendry and Masha and I think Casey Navarro and just had a great time. The fans loved it. It's such a beautiful arena, the biggest stage and the biggest city and the best city in the whole wide world. So we're just excited to be building towards this. And I think on July 20th, we're going to have our biggest show ever. And I'm glad you guys are going to be there, and we're looking forward to seeing all the fans there as well.
Awesome.
I'm really excited. Yes, sir. My question for you is, I'm a big MMA guy, and you're a big MMA guy yourself. My kind of question to you, because I know a lot of people who were in the MMA world and then kind of transferred into the wrestling business, like yourself. You've done a really, really great job in the MMA scene. Now you're doing a really, really good job as TNA President. What was kind of the challengers or the difference or how is that shift going from MMA to now being full-time around wrestling, promoting, going around city to city? How's that experience been in that transformation for you, sir?
Yeah, the first thing for me is I got to stop referring to everyone as fighters. I got to remember that they're fighters and they're wrestlers. So I get kicked in the shins by my wrestling colleagues on that all the time, but that's okay. Look, there's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of similarities in the live events business, and I've been in the live events business. A bunch of my teammates that are with me have been in and around many of the things we've done over the years. I think there's so many similarities. In fact, many arenas that I'd been to in World Series of Fighting and Professional Fighters League, we're going back to with TNA Wrestling. You might also know that we also have Invicta Fighting in our portfolio. Yes, and working with Shannon. We're doing some great stuff with women's MMA as well. But there's a lot of similarities between the two. And look, what's key is that you fill up these arenas. You provide a great product for the fans. The thing for me that's been such a pleasant surprise is the fandom in wrestling it's unmatched. I mean, we've been earlier this year was one of my first shows. We were right in the outskirts of Dallas in this great arena, and it was a very cold day by Dallas standards, maybe in the 30s, maybe a touch 40 degrees, might have even been drizzling outside, and there were 4,000 people outside the arena waiting an hour before, lining up so that when the doors open, they could get their merchandise, they could sign up for meet and greets, and they could get great seats. And I got to tell you, it was great to see, and it continues to build. And I just think, look, I think pro wrestling fans are the greatest fans in the world. They're sort of unmatched around sports and entertainment. And God bless them. They get to see their stars in the ring. And I hope TNA is providing a great show for them because they seem to be supporting us in a big way.
TNA's doing phenomenal, sir.
Absolutely. Seeing since you've been coming on as president, seeing the growth month to month, seeing now, packer houses, bigger houses, the collaboration with the WWE and NXT, the growth. It seems like the expansion is just continue to grow and organically. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel, it just feels so organically, naturally. I'm excited to see what's next. I know there's been rumors about the weekly episodic TNA showing. Is that probably a short-term goal and long-term goal? Maybe bringing in like kind of a TNA kind of performance center for the future for wrestlers. Also, Invicta FC. Maybe get some more female fighting MMA. I know yourself, father of two young ladies, doing wonderful things in the world of female combat sports as well as professional wrestling. How proud does that make you, though? That impact that you're providing us.
It's great. It's so nice to have the opportunity to be in the professional sports entertainment business. It's we fly around the world. We go to arenas. Sometimes my friends and colleagues, they wonder like, do you have to go to every event? It's like, guys, of course we go to that's what we do for a living. This is our office. And there's no better place than any of us, our talent, our wrestlers, our staff, we all want to be there. And it's so exciting. Look, it's been a great 6-7 months since I've been here. I think we've set some goals every sort of 30, 60 days. You mentioned our relationship and our partnership with WWE and NXT, coming off of Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, it just really has accelerated, especially in these last 60 to 90 days. The Joe Hendry, Trick Williams storyline, the changing of the belt, bringing Mike Santana in, having Moose at Madison Square Gardens Theater against Obafemi, Jordan Grace, going and becoming part of the WWE NXT roster, and it just keeps going and going. And now we're bringing Mike Santana, and we've got a title match with Masa and JC that's going to be happening at Slammiversary. I mean, it just keeps getting better and better, and I think it's a testament to the team and sort of the positive partnership approach that I think we're taking, and how much we appreciate WWE and NXT doing the same.
Awesome.
Mr. Silva, I have a question for you about the TNA app, TNA Plus. I love the TNA app because unfortunately I don't have Access TV. So having the TNA Plus, I've been a TNA kid since 2008, 2009. I watched the first Slammiversary in 2012. So going back and be able to watch all of those and now keep up with the modern wrestling, and now you guys air it live on every Thursday. How has it helped your audience and your viewership in terms of TNA app, especially when, like I said, a lot of people like myself don't have access? How important has the TNA app been for you guys?
It's super important. It continues to grow. We're well over 21,000 subscribers now to TNA Plus. Great
awesome.
Fans.
Congratulations.
That get, to your point, they not only get to see our pay-per-views or our PLEs or our weekly Impact show, but they get access to the entire library. The team that's led by David Clevenger on my digital side, who's worked with me for years, they continue to do a great job with social. Our marketing team, led by Andrea Paganelli, that is filling up arenas and helping us with merchandise and helping us to market across all these platforms to continue to grow. And I think, in the world that we live in, there's no one way that people consume anymore. We know that this is a completely unbundled world. I've lived through it over the last 25 years. And you need to provide ways that people can watch however they can watch. And that's what we're going to continue to do as we continue to build our distribution strategy, with Access TV, with other TV outlets, with our TNA Plus app, as well as what we're doing with other digital and streaming apps, including YouTube and others, to make sure that everyone that wants to be a fan can be a fan. Wherever we are in the world these days, you can usually pick up your phone and get access to great stuff. It wasn't that way 5 years ago, but now if you know, if you're on the road and you want to watch the Masters, you can pick up your phone and watch the Masters. If you're at dinner with your family because you missed something, you can still get it. And so that's the world we've all come from, and we've always understood that sort of disruptive changing of the media landscape. And we're trying to bring all of those smarts to TNA and the fans so that you can watch wherever you are.
I love it. I love that fan experience, that closeness there, and I love the way you continue to do and strive for just a level of excellence. It's like, you know, speaking of level of excellence, I know you're getting ready for that triathlon, and I know you are a man of fitness and getting yourself into shape. Do you bring that into your business world or vice versa? Give us a little bit peek. Tell us a little about you. I mean, we're talking about TNA. Let us know. Get just a little bit about you. We would like to know. Mr. Silva.
Look, I like to. I'm fighting Father Time, and I think we all need to fight Father Time a little bit and push him back. I try every day to get out there. I'm swimming, biking, and running every day. When I get a chance, I'm out on the tennis court and having some fun too from my past playing tennis. And it sets up my day. If I get a great run with my dogs and I can get a great swim in or a great bike ride, I know I'm going to have a much better day all day long. You know, we all work hard, and I can have a much better work day if I can get my morning fitness in. Look, the good news is, and I'll be happy to celebrate with you guys, I haven't missed a day since the 2008 Boston Marathon. Not one single day missed with my morning workouts, and I'm going to keep that streak going as long as I can, because it keeps me young and healthy and having fun.
Awesome.
I have so one thing we all share in common here is we all are Puerto Rican descent. You know, that's why you know we love. You're not gonna see a program that loves Mike Santana the way we do. And you know, you gravitate towards us too, being the first Puerto Rican wrestling company of a president of a major wrestling company. How is that for you? How important is the representation for you? Because that's what our show is about. We want to represent.
I had such a great experience, and you know, growing up and visiting my grandparents in Puerto Rico. They live right out of San Juan and Alto Rey, and my dad was from Mayaguez, and you know, he came to the States for medical school and had an amazing career as a surgeon in the Washington, D.C. area. And you know, going and spending my summers in Puerto Rico and spending time with my grandparents. It's funny, we did Subway Mania yesterday. We had a lot of fun with that. And there was one of the guys was there with a Dorado T-shirt on for whatever odd reason. And I was like, Dorado? And he's like, oh, yeah, that's right where I'm from. And I was like, I spent so much. My uncle was out at Dorado. We would always visit my Tío Gio out at Dorado, and and now with Mike Santana and you know, him being a Puerto Rican, I'm not 100% Puerto Rican. My dad's Puerto Rican. My mom was Greek, which is why I make the joke that I'm a Puerto Rican. So, but it's great. It's great, and look, that's what's really great too about being in New York City. And you know, we hope the Puerto Rican community, the Latino community, everyone comes out to Slammiversary. But certainly with Mike on the main card and having the Puerto Rican flag hanging out of his back pocket the way that he always does, it's going to be amazing. And I mean, look, you guys know, I mean, the Puerto Ricans bring big energy to everything that they do, and especially in New York City. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's nice to have that family feeling along with Mike and the rest of the team.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, speaking of family feeling, I've seen the video. I've got it in the back there where you reward a MVP or an outstanding performer each and every event, live event, pay-per-view. From us looking in from the outside, from 10,000 feet away, like they say, to me, that's very important when someone recognizes anyone for their hard work or even for the minimum thing. To me, as a fan, I love that. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. You know, I applied it to myself at work. I would love our bosses and all our superiors to give us you did a good job. You know, everybody remembers the negativity if you do something negative, but I love the fact that you going and recognizing these talent. How big is that to you?
It's it's huge. I've been lucky to work with a lot of great organizations, and I've been able to be up close and personal with some great athletes and performers. And you try to learn a little bit from all of them. You try to do it a little bit yourself. You see the focus that everyone needs to have. Look, I try to bring some of that and learn from them as well. And I just think it's important to take a minute and celebrate it. And so we came up with the TNA All-Star, I guess it was 3 events ago. We've now, awarded three times to 3 of our athletes. We also have awarded it once to one of our, trusted teammates and staff members that helps all of our wrestlers and athletes to be great. And I think what's great for me, and I hope it's great for all of us, is we all get to celebrate for a minute together before we then sort of put our game face on and get out there in the ring and do whatever we got to do to make the show great, because we're all in the same business. We're not all in the ring, but everyone that's around the ring, everyone that's behind the scenes, the goal is that all of the fans have a great time. And so we thought it was great that everyone gets to celebrate each other with this weekly All-Star. We're going to keep it going. To us, it's like a coach giving out a game ball. And it's nice that we wanted to give all the fans a little live look in on that and help celebrate it with us. And so, yeah, we're going to absolutely keep it going. It's a lot of fun. It's my favorite moment from the weekend when we're all together.
Love it. I love it. Keep it up.
Mr. Silva, I don't want to waste, spend too much of your time here. I know you're busy, but I do want to ask, going city to city doing the tapings. You guys were just in my town. You see the Steelers sign back here. I'm from Pittsburgh. You guys just had your tapings there. How is the experience going from the cities to cities and doing the tapings there for the weekend? Because you see a lot of the same people in the crowds. They feel like, oh, TNA's having like a residency in our city for the week or whatever, how long you guys are doing tapings. How fun has that been, traveling city to city for the residency?
Oh, it's great. It's great. We've been in some great cities. We've been in some great arenas. It's great to see how the fans are the same in some cities and different in some cities. This year, for me, being in Dallas and San Antonio and El Paso, being in Tempe, being in Pittsburgh, being in LA, and now, being in New York here with Slammiversary on July 20th. And then we're going to Rhode Island. We're going to Baltimore. We're going to Edmonton. We were up in Brampton earlier this year, just a few minutes outside of Toronto. And that was the crowds up there were amazing. So, look, I think it's all part of bringing the TNA experience so that the fans can touch it and get to see what these great wrestling performers do in the ring. Look, everyone can watch on TV. We're going to continue to build the distribution so the audience can build, but being live at a show like this, being live at a concert, being live at a big sporting event, they're all unmatched with the way that you can touch it. You got to weave it all in as part of the experience. So yeah, we have a great time traveling from week to week and sort of bringing the team together and having these meetings and then performing in the arena under the lights in the ring. It's a lot of fun.
My final question, because I know we're running out of time. It's a 2-parter. One of your either short alerts from is it possibly being in a NBA hockey arena in the near future? I know you are right now in the Islanders, but maybe a stadium, and what about international, going with the TNA, maybe in the Europe? I know you do Canada. That's we know that we're going to Edmonton for Slammer Victory Road. What are those goals?
Yeah, look, I think that's part of what UBS Arena is all about is testing the waters in the biggest city, the biggest media market. With the greatest fans on the planet. And so I think it's going to launch us to that next phase. And that's what we've been building for the last 6 months. Now it's right in front of us. We're getting prepared. We got a few days to go. Everyone's hunkered down. Everyone's going to show up and just, absolutely kick ass and have a great show. And then I think that'll launch us. We've pretty well got the rest of this year not pretty well. We do have the rest of this year laid out. We haven't announced it all yet. We've announced the next few months. We'll be announcing the rest of the year coming up here after Slammiversary, and we're already looking at 2026. What happens at Slammiversary, what happens at UBS Arena will help to shape our distribution deals, our sponsorship, and really lay the groundwork for what we do in 2026. And I think all of the things that you mentioned are in our plans to continue to go into these larger arenas, bring the fan base together, and celebrate what our great wrestlers do in the ring together.
Hopefully Orlando is one of those.
Yes.
Chris, your final questions. We want to.
Yes, sir. Yeah. My final question. What are you most looking excited for the UBS Arena? Your first time being in New York, because like I said, I've been watching Slammiversary since 2012, and first time you're being in New York. Is it that a lot of the talent like Masha, obviously Santana, is it because a lot of them have the New York roots? Are you excited to just see the city? What are you most looking forward to with UBS Slammiversary coming to the UBS Arena?
I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to be in one of the most spectacular new arenas. I think that, a major NHL team in the Islanders plays in with a storied franchise themselves. That's always great. I mean, when you go into an arena where, former world champions have skated, that's just that you can feel that. That's important. One, two, you mentioned it. We've got a lot of New Yorkers on the card. We haven't talked about Matt Cardona, another one that's also, going to be part of this. He's also local. I think the reception that they're all going to get, to see their faces when they come down the ramp, when their walkouts happen, I think that's going to bring great energy, not just for the team and staff, but also for the fans. And then I just think, the card is an unprecedented card for us, top to bottom, and we're not done with it. I think there's going to be some other surprises that you're going to see in the next few days that everyone's going to be excited about. And certainly, every single match. I can't just say the main event. The main event's spectacular, but the ladder match is crazy. The title match on the ladies' side is crazy. As I've been saying it's not just the wrestlers that are amazing. It's each of the matches themselves are amazing as a brand. And I think that's going to bring, I think it's just going to make the night special, and it's going to launch us into 2026. So look, hopefully I'll see you guys there. Definitely grab me, and let's have some, let's celebrate together, and let's have a great night.
Yes, sir. I can't wait to be there. I can't wait to hopefully meet you, shake your hand. Thank you in person for coming on our show, and it was great to talk to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Great, thanks. Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. That is TNA President Carlos Silva joining us here on the Sports Jedi Network. We appreciate his time. We appreciate him joining us. We appreciate him coming on with us. Don't forget Slammiversary, July 20th at the UBS Arena. Tickets, let's force them to open up an extra section. Let's force them to the supply and demand where they have to now open up more, find more seats and let us as fans hear that we want TNA more. We want them in bigger arenas. We want them, to be, no pun intended, make an impact in this professional wrestling atmosphere in 2025, 26 and beyond. They've always been around. They always had a footprint in the wrestling business, but let's make them now and let's elevate them even more to another level of excellence. So to UBS Arena, July 20th, if you could get it on a TNA Plus app, pay-per-view. If you're not going to be in the New York metropolitan area like we are, we are going to be there. We'll definitely see. We want to make sure that card and that match and that event goes over. Hashtagging Slammiversary. Give your thoughts, your opinion. Who's winning the triple threat main event? Is Trick Williams going to defend this title for NXT, or are we getting the hometown hero in Mike Santana walk out in the arena with the TNA World title to hand it over to his beautiful daughter? By the way, happy birthday to his daughter, who's celebrating a birthday for her. Many blessings to her. Or is the internet sensation and the guy who's still over like Rover, Joe Henry? Do people still believe in Joe Henry? Many matches and more. The triple threat for the TNA Knockouts champion. Could it be JC Jane? Could it be Jordan Grace returning back to TNA, taking on Marsha Slammiversary. Could it be Trinity, aka Naomi? There's a briefcase. They never would specify if she could cash in on. Is it just WWE property? Although NXT title is a WWE property and that's available, it's open. What is that, man? What chaos, or what in a good way? If you hear Trinity, aka Naomi's music hit at the UBS Arena, just to tease that she's there with the briefcase. She doesn't have to cash it in there. Hit me out, wrestling community. But if she teases with the briefcase showing there, holy crap moment. People are going to be talking about it because you didn't expect that. So those are things that are out there. We're not even talking about the possiblest youngest X Division champion ever in Leon Slater taking on the Mountain Man, the big obstacle that is called Moose. Could Leon Slater do it? Can he beat that, climb his Everest and conquer the title, the X Division title? All that and more. We also have the tag team knockouts. The Iconics, aka the Inspiration, back against Ash by Elegance, the Elegance brand. That is so much great there. And I didn't want to mention Cardona. Matt, we didn't leave you out because your match was not announced yet.
I didn't want to get into that without being announced. So, but
we're not in the business of spoilers. We're not in the business to spoil it. Yeah, we're not dirt sheet. We're here to interview and hear people tell their story. But now that we heard that he is going to, Cardona could possibly be on that card, I'm excited because I want to see the Long Island guy. Matt Cardona lives a couple miles away from me in Orlando, Florida. He's building a new home. Great. I get to see Cardona in person. Love it. Not only that, you get the People's Champion, who I call the People's Champion, in Indy Hartwell, taking on one of the most villainous ladies in all of professional wrestling, in Tessa, who's doing a phenomenal job. But she draws that nuclear heat. She knows what she's doing. In a world where they say there's people that don't get, there is no more villains. Well, look at Tessa. She's a villain. All of that. There's so much story with TNA, Chris. I'm excited. I can't wait to be there with you and with Chef Dan. Let's go.
I can't wait, man. That's the beauty of it. I get to watch some wrestling. This is my first pay-per-view. Again, I mentioned when we just had Mr. Silva on, which it was phenomenal. I mentioned to him, I've been watching TNA since 2007, 2008. Watched my first Slammiversary 2012. The fact that I get to be there live, with a guy that I consider a friend here in Kev, with Chef, another friend of mine, just to meet up in person while we've been doing this stuff to go watch a show together. It's really special. It's something cool. It's something fun. So I'm really excited for this. I'm excited for the show. I know we wanted to spend more time on, a little bit more on the main event because those are our guys, and that's the match of the show. But every single match you see back there is going to be a quote unquote 5-star. It's a non-miss event. I encourage everybody, go watch Slammiversary on July 20th.
We're talking about 5-star event, Chris. Sorry to interrupt, but we didn't even talk about Cedric Alexander Mustafa Ali. Talk about 5-star.
Yeah. Talk about a match where a lot of the people, again, know their history. I've gotten the privilege to see these guys go at it a little bit in 205 Live in Orlando. In this, a couple summers ago when I was in high school, it's great. Again, this match, like you mentioned with Tessa and Indy, another match in the card that, doesn't have a title, but it's ultimate uber babyface, like Kev says, the people's champ, because when Kev used to go watch her in NXT, she was beloved. Everybody loved her. Tessa is the complete opposite. So that arena is going to be obviously, banging for Indy to beat Tessa. And I think it's just going to be great energy and vibes around, like Carlos said on our a couple minutes ago here on our show. So it's a much watched event. Again, if you can't be at the UBS Arena, watch it. TNA Plus, buy the pay-per-view anywhere you can, watch it, because you do not want to miss this show.
Absolutely, you don't want to miss this show. It's going to be one of those awesome show. We didn't and talk about the tag team ladder match that Mr. Silva was talking about. You've got the Nemets, you got the Hardys, you First Class could possibly win their first tag team titles together. Casey Navarro, a local kid from the backyard of the tri-state area, could be catching TNA tag team gold. You've got the Rascals, now with Marlon Reed, I believe, or I don't know if Trey Miguel is clear yet. We don't know. We'll find out tonight on the injury report from TNA. And by the way, we will be going live on the TNA Watch Along because we are the unofficial home of the TNA Watch Along and TNA podcast. on the Sports Jedi Network, on the Playback app. So come watch us. Absolutely there, and definitely. But first and foremost, before we say goodbye, I also want to give a special thanks to Ross Foreman. Ross Foreman, Vice President of TNA Media Relations. Thank you for the opportunity. We appreciate giving us this opportunity, allowing the president of Anthem and TNA to come on our platform, bless us with 20 minutes, of his time. Great. Thank you so much. You don't know how much appreciative we are for that opportunity. And of course, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys, saw the insights. We heard his time in Father from Maya West, his time in Puerto Rico and Dorado. It's great to hear from Carlos Silva to know, it gives hope for a person like me and Chris, siendo puertorriqueño. Yeah, we could, el sueño, if you work hard like he does, gets up in his routine, and you can see with the triathlon, it doesn't matter if you're Puerto Rican, it doesn't matter what, if you work hard, you can achieve and climb that mountain. But for us being, and they're saying, you're from the Bronx or Puerto Rican, you only have a limit or something. Bullshit. The man showed us that anything could be possible with hard work, dedication, doing the right thing. That was a great inspiration. Just where he's at in his position in life, to me, that's a big one. Thank you again, Mr. Silva, for joining us. Again, Ross Foreman for allowing us the opportunity, and also inviting us to allow us to be in part of the UBS Arena at the Slammiversary, Chris. So I'm good. I'm ready to say goodbye because we have to get ready for another stream for TNA tonight. Watch along. So get in there. Watch along with us. Comment in the video. I wanted to thank. Hey, we saw your comments in the chat, but we were so limited with the time. We didn't want to. We want to acknowledge you. We're going to acknowledge you, everyone here as well. For Chris Killer 3,
my brother Chris Denver. Thank you, brother. Because I know you were. I couldn't say anything because of confirmation, but I really wanted you to keep up with this, watch it, because me and you go way back. When TNA, before I joined this, and when nobody in the community wanted to talk about TNA wrestling with me, Chris the Killer Denver did. He talked about TNA wrestling with me. So shout out to Chris. Thank you for watching, brother.
Yes. Ismael Rosario, thank you again. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Thank you for joining us in the stream. Thank you for writing the comment. Appreciate everyone that watches. Normally we get a lot afterwards. For those that are going to watch after, don't forget, after you post your comments and all that stuff, check us out in the playback. We want to continue to make a no pun intended, an impact in the community in the interview. Don't forget, also I want to put over the Respect the Craft podcast for Ray Sanchez, who joined us yesterday. He has a big independent show coming up the day before Slammiversary. We're going to be there as well. So tickets for that event is still available. So we're going to be there in person. If we would love to meet folks. Hey, we watch you. We would love to say thank you for the support. Shake your hand. I personally, not take a picture with you because as a fan, I wouldn't mind taking pictures. So if you're photogenic, I wouldn't mind taking pictures. And
be at the UBS, come up.
Yes, for me, it would be like, wow, thank you. That's a way of saying thank you. Yeah. So with that said, man, we thank everyone again. This was an honor, a privilege. And I cannot be more than humbly say thank you. So we'll see you next time here on Sports Jedi Network. We're going to review the card, give our thoughts on who's going to win, and on that. So look for that video out, as well as a lot of events happening this weekend. So always don't let life pin you. Always kick out. Don't get yourself over, and may the sports be with you. We'll see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Que Dios me lo bendiga.